Yo, fish while you sleep. Monday. We got a lurker on YouTube. I wanted to do a little, what up, dude? I wanted a little unboxing this morning. I got a package over the weekend. Looks like a damn bomb. What might this be? What would this be? Any guesses? It's fragile. Any guesses at all as to what this might be? Whiskey. Ooh, good guess. I wouldn't have guessed that, but that is a good guess. But it is not whiskey. It is actually fishing related. Oh, let me change it. Travis, I didn't realize I was on this account. Whoops. Kyle, I was actually on my original TK live. Travis Stearman said, "Why are you on TK, not Tacklecraft?" I was like, "Oh, I didn't realize it." Let me title it. No wonder somebody was on there that I didn't know. Unboxing strange shaped package. All right, I'll wait. Kyle, maybe. We'll see. We shall see. Travis, I did. I started on the other one. No, there's normal people. I was looking at the other the guy on the chat, and I was like, I don't know this person. Like, he never gets on. So anyway. So for those of you just joining on Instagram, I've been talking for about 5 minutes on my TK page, my personal page from like 10 years ago. It's got like 300 people on it. But anyway, any guesses as to what this is, Instagram? It's not whiskey. This is my other troll account. All right. Oh, I do have something else to show off today. All right, I'm going to get this out of the way first, though. Ice pole. Close. It's definitely an eggplant. How fucked up would that be? I was like, check out this giant dildo. The fishing world would be shocked. All right, what do we have here? We got lots of wrap. How cool is this? So, this is sent. Bo, what's up, dude? So this was sent to me by Mike Israel. And what it is for a plug knocker. So you put an old, Ambassador 5500, an old Calcutta from your youth, throw some damn 100-pound braid on it, and run your line out, put your little plug knocker on it, and you can reel it up, drop it down, reel it up, drop it down. How about that? Pretty nice. This is probably do I now own the nicest plug knocker in the world? Maybe not in the world, but around these parts. Bo, all I used to use was a I had just this blue rope, and it was on a spool, and I would just like unspool it and like lay it all on the deck, and I would drop it over, and it would get wrapped around handles. I never could get the dog leash thing to work because it never. I guess you'd have to do the same thing where you like unspool it, but I'm gonna try this out. We'll see how it works. But I do like the idea of not having lots of cord. And I will say, if you don't use a plug knocker, like I've been using one for years, like 20 years probably. But once I started using one of those things, like you don't lose baits anymore, hardly ever. Like I couldn't tell you the number of baits I've lost. And sometimes, like, it depends on how much time you've got and how determined you are. Because I've spent like 20 minutes getting a bait loose. But you know, sometimes they take a little work. But I'm probably going to use I've got an old Calcutta around here. Or I could use an Ambassador 5500. I know we've got plenty of those. But let me go get another box. I have another box. Oh. New hats came in. These are actually tan. So, actually, I don't know if y'all grew up wearing these, but down here, this brand hat was the hat. The game. And I didn't know they sold blanks. So, they always made badass hats when I was a kid. So I said, you know what? I'll try some of the games hats out. So I've got a few of those to try. Got this one. These will be patched. This is probably my favorite one because this is actually like a cross between this one and a 112. So my issue with a 112 is when I put one on now after wearing this one, this little bit of room right here in a flat bill or like a tall trucker feels good to me. I really have enjoyed having the breathing room up above the top of my head right here. So if I put on a standard 112, it fits on your head right there. And it kind of bothers me. So this hat is like the perfect combination of this one and a 112. So we got the greenies. We got the gray and the black. And Ranger uses the game hats. Good hat. And good old vintage camo. World War camo. The sweatband in these feels really, really good. It's like really soft. But that is the hat collection coming out once the patches roll in. I might order some more 112s just because I know how much people like them, but I wanted something. Actually, a few of the 112s I wanted were sold out, so I do have another order to place. But the good thing about putting your own patches on them is I can, get hats and make them as I need to. What else? Oh. The bean came up here earlier. Where's my little thing? You see the spool? Here it is. The bean and I were up here yesterday, and she was standing at the door of the shop or the office, and she was holding this going. And I looked at it and I was like, what is that? And then it clicked. Oh, that used to have a mile of wire on it that I wire tie skirts with. So she had this stretched from here all the way out the door and wrapped around the wheels of my chair. So now when I need wire, I will just have to cut it out of this pile. I guess I'm just going to throw this pile of wire like in the corner. Or I could pre-cut it. Where's your shoes? No more.
When do you think my office will be back to working?
I don't know why. You can, why don't you move your printer in the conference room? Better start hiding more of your stuff. Yeah, I usually just hide hooks, but in this case, I'm gonna have to start digging a little deeper. Like this type of thing.
The funny thing is, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, like this is those little loom bands you use for like tying your hair up. I typically put these on hooks. I'm surprised these are still in the container. Looking back, I'm a fool for leaving those out.
Even if you did like childproof this, she would find something.
Oh yeah, she can find something to dump out. She'd open the tackle box and pour it out or whatever.
She could, yeah. Her little Houdini self.
Yeah, she's a pro. All right.
But she got out the door this morning and went,
Yeah, she took a whiz on the porch this morning. She wanted to. I was trying to leave and go home or go to here, and I was like, I'm going to work. And she's like, play in Dada's truck. I was like, no, I can't play in Dada's truck. I'm leaving. She's like, hold bean, bean come. And I was like, you want to follow me out on the porch? And she was like, yeah. And I went over there to put something in my truck, and I came back and she was squatty potty on the porch, hosing it down. And she's like pretty much potty trained. I don't know what was getting like, but maybe
potty trained. She just
I don't know if that was like a mark in her territory of disgust of me leaving, or she was like, "Screw you. This is how I feel about this."
I piss on you.
Yeah. So,
Well, you've been with her for like 48 hours.
Yeah.
Right.
I had her all weekend. Amy was out of town. So here's if Bert, if you're watching silently, maybe you're not. I have your uncle's baits ready. They don't really show up good on camera, but I did him a few jerk baits. IU. I tried to not get too fancy. Sorry, Instagram. I tried to not get too fancy. I just wanted to get the guy that he can. He's not a avid bass fisherman. I think he trout fishes. So Bert tells me, and I just wanted to get him some like pretty standard looking stuff that's not too overly complex as to confuse him. So did him a little Ozark shad.
You're deep in the pain in your lap. Your tackle look at this shirt, this screen. Can I put black? How to do a sample of black on black for
Sure. Do you need a shirt to trial?
No, black shirt.
Oh, before you do that, will you print? I have a black hooded shirt.
Anything else? Are you sure?
Yeah.
I'm about to go ruin this one. Not ruin it, but.
Yeah, that's the last one.
Okay.
Mine do the same type of things. Never had one piss on the porch though. No, that was pretty impressive move. It was funny because when I was walking back, I was like looking at her and she was like squatting down all funny. I was like, "Are you peeing?" Why does the final Elite Series event end on a Monday? I thought it was maybe just because of the travel time from Oahe. Maybe. I don't know. I think it's because they were back to back, maybe. Weren't they back to back? That they just gave him an extra day for practice. At least you didn't poop on the porch. Very, very true. Bo, you want to see your bait on video? I do have to glue the eyes in, but they're in. I don't know if my hand's big enough to block this one up. We got lots of color changing things going on. Let me see here. Cut that out. That's a big old cranker.
My extension cord is to flash.
The blue one? Is it up front by the, it might be up here. Oh. Bo, I think that thing's going to get, as my buddy Joyner would say, I think you're going to see great success with that. I think you're going to have great success. He also said the thing on top of your house that smoke comes out of when you build a fire, it was also known as a chimney. Oh, let's see what else I got done. Look at this little tasty nugget. Kyle, I don't. It might have rained Thursday. I'm not sure. I gotta put an eyeball on this, obviously. That was a 1 of 1. Here is a here's the Piz. Piz, a perchy Piz. Perchy. And then I did a batch of I guess you would call these Clear Lake hitches, which is where they're going. Clear Lake, California. So you got the. It still kind of boggles my mind when Kyle, I didn't know you were creeping. I start showing your baits off. You come out of nowhere, bro. Come out of the depths. Depths. That was a pretty nice looking perch. Come on, this tape is sticky. All right, freedom. Freedom. These are 2 Chads and a Clear Lake hitch. Hopefully that gets the job done for the man. And then we got 2 BGC Trouts, Clear Lake hitch. Pretty nice looking baits. What else do we have on the platter? I got this, whatever this thing is. I will say I've noticed something. Marty, I do not. I haven't got the little ones yet. One thing I've noticed about these newer baits in these like 3D printed molds and stuff, like this guy, they come out like super clean looking out of the, like when you take a picture of them, like if somebody sends me a picture of the blank and they're like, here's the blank, they look like flawless, and they're good pours, but you can't notice the little stuff going on them until you paint them or until you clear coat them, and then like all the flaws show up, like all the little scratches and pinholes and that kind of stuff. But there's another little trout, whatever thing. That's it. That's it. Let's see. I wonder what a red tail would look like in this. No, that's not going to work. Not going to work, but put the beans little pink tail in there. guess I gotta make some more tails. Guess I gotta make some more tails. Oh. So I'm probably going to do a small run of spinnerbaits. Maybe a dozen, not very many. But it's going to have a really interesting blade combination. The Vibratron. So this is a very old design, but thumps like none other. Thumps like mad. So we'll see. If Travis, it was a lunker lure bait. But if anybody be interested in trying those, I might make a few. But they're actually, I bought those for my own pleasure. But I think I've got enough that I can put them out in the world in case people want them. Really cool blade. Was never. Here's the thing. Hell, I completely forgot about Bass Live. My apologies to any of you Bass Livers. Come to the dark side. Travis, yeah, they actually had a couple. They had, let's see, I think I've got one. They had that one that was called the Undulator, I think. That was like a 3-part segmented kind of looking Indiana blade. And then they had the Vampire, which I was never brave enough to buy as a kid. But I thought the Vampire was a cool looking blade. So maybe some would remember the Vampire blade. Still haven't thrown this bait. I bought it to try because, like I said, when I was a kid, you're on a limited purchasing budget. So when you go buy bait, you can't really roll the dice. You know what I mean? On some dumb shit. You got to get what works. Like you can't drop $6 on a spinnerbait and it be garbage. You just stick to like the stuff stuff that's going to get you bites. Don't get too wild. Yeah, Tyler, this was a Hank Parker bait. I don't know if he pushed him. I don't ever remember seeing this bait on a Hank Parker Outdoors show, but his name was on the package, so he was getting paid. And the Undulator, I don't have it. I don't think. I feel like I should, but I didn't see it over there. But this blade, the Vibratron blade, Tyler, it should be on your radar, and if it's not, you're messing up. But and I got me and my buddy were talking about it. He's like, you dialed into these? I was like, no, I never really got the like. It just looked stupid, and And I think it just goes to prove that like packaging isn't enough. Like the message on a package, and it says like thumps like harder than anything and catches 5 times more fish. So like, bullshit. You know what I mean? That's like when you read it, that's what you think. So I never bought one because, like I said, it looked stupid and it didn't make any sense. And I didn't trust the bait company to believe that they weren't uh, telling me a pile of shit on the package. So it was, as a kid, never on the radar. But here we are with a bunch of those stupid ass blades. But hell, are you being serious? I would have told them to eat it. You know what? I would have told them to eat an eggplant. Eat a big purple eggplant. But yeah, is this the greatest spinnerbait blade ever invented? But because it looks so incredibly stupid, uh, it never caught on. Maybe. Uh, Kyle, I would probably say 100% he was. I don't know about y'all, but I haven't watched anything YouTube related that Bass has put out. Um, any of their like recap live coverage with like Ronnie Moore and whoever that other dude is. Like that is very unappealing. Um, what if, Marty, you can just have one single Vibratron blade and get out of your willow and catch 5 times more bass? What's wrong with that? But like I said, it's funny. I would like to accumulate a list of really dumb looking stuff. I can go ahead and name you 2 of them that was very effective, but because of how act 3, because of how stupid they look, never caught on nationally. Um, Travis, there's not really much to grab. I mean, just the same as a regular blade. I mean, I think it excels in grass actually. Um, that's what Lunker Lure says, Marty. Um, oh, 100%. 100%. Yeah, it wasn't just like bullshit on the package as I thought it was. Like it's real. Um, so yeah, but you wonder how many things out there have existed in the fishing world that would probably still be in use today that were really good, like that blade. Um, the tornado spinnerbait, that's another one. Um, the tornado spinnerbait was huge, or it wasn't huge. It was unpopular. Um, oh, Tyler, I heard that thing will like throttle your arm off, dude. It is. I think it is called the live wire, and it's got like a million bends in it. It's the stupidest looking thing you've ever seen. Um, but I think that's what it's called. Something wire, maybe live wire. Is that the one you're talking about? Have y'all seen that bait? It's a spinner bait, but it's got like 50 bends in it that are like all over the place, and some are big and some are small. But it's supposed to thump harder than any spinner bait on the planet, and I heard they do. Like they say they're nuts, like how hard they thump. But the wire is so stupid looking. Like I would just feel like a clown looking down on my boat deck and like seeing that thing. Like it would bother me. Um, Swim bait toxic, like Caesar toxic. Um, Marty, it is for me too. Like I can't even wrap my head around how that kind of wire, like all those 90s would make a good, like how it works. You know what I mean? Terminator had the aluminum blade that looked like a shoehorn. I don't remember that. Had a guy in Pierre Part doing it. Was he the originator? Tornado picked up early for me. I was lucky enough to get the real deal, not the Bass Pro show. Kyle, what's the story? I thought it was always a Bass Pro version. Who was the originator of the Tornado? Was it not Shoestring DuBois? I'm guessing that was just a clever marketing scheme by Bass Pro Shops. Um, no, it was Shoestring. Oh, I didn't know there was one before Bass Pro Shops because I thought Shoestring was Bass Pro Shops. Or you got one from actual Shoestring, because that thing would probably be pretty collectible if it was uh, pre Bass Pro Shops picking it up. Um, Catching shoe pick and meth heads on it. Sounds about right. What do y'all think about this little? What do y'all think about this little number? If you want your wigglewort to look like a crawfish, besides the eyes and its orientation being wrong, there you go. Uh, I need this and this. Okay. I got to put this little top water together. So put this in here. No, I need the blade first. There we go, like that. There goes. Yeah, I didn't. I was never. It was just one of those. The tornado spinnerbait was one of those things that was like just really really dumb looking, and then turns out it's really effective. Um, I know it's really popular down in Louisiana, like in the Delta. Tyler, can you confirm that? Actually caught fish on an arcade crawler I painted yesterday. AJ, you're not even supposed to be fishing, much less catching fish on baits you actually paint. The Bass University just posted viral how to fish something. Shut up. Shut up, Bass University. too much. There we go. The Cajun Rattler spinnerbait. Why does that sound so familiar? Why do I know the Cajun Rattler? Uh-oh. I got a bunch of baits I got to paint, Marty, and I don't have hooks for them. Not cool. Not cool at all. No, those, I do have enough hooks, I believe. 1, 2. I might not have enough 6s. John D, the Snagless Sally will catch them. Another thing, Hella, have fun. By back to work, you mean Bass Live. You ain't fooling me, bro. You ain't fooling me. Split ring pliers. There you are. The Snagless Sally, I told y'all I had like it was always like a thing down here. Still is. Because when you really diagnose the delta, there's really, it's the perfect bait because of what it imitates, how it swims, how you fish it. Like everything about it is perfect. Like it's super weedless. It looks like a crab. It looks like a shrimp. It looks like a fish. Like it looks like everything that they eat. But it's not real appealing to the eye. So growing up, that was just like a thing I fished down here. If I went to like a regular non-tidal place, I wouldn't typically throw a Sally, but my dad would. And he caught them everywhere on that thing, dude. Like it didn't matter. Like the Snagless Sally is not just a tidal thing. They work everywhere. And but the funny thing about it is I still no matter what, like I still find myself like I won't throw one unless it's down here. I don't know why, but I've just got like it's just ingrained in my head that is like a tidal thing, and that's where it belongs and that's where it needs to stay. But that is certainly not the case. I had a day up on the Alabama River, non-tidal, no crabs, no shrimp, and it was in March. I was fishing around this little windy island, and I had a school bus yellow homemade Snagless Sally that had a weed guard on it that my neighbor Mean Gene built me. And I had a big ass yellow, school bus yellow grub on the back. And I started going down this windy bank. And it was cold and windy and miserable. And dude, my buddy was throwing a war eagle behind me. And I drilled their ass. Like, it was absurd. And I finally got down on the bottom of the boat to do something. And he went up to the front and grabbed my rod. And he was like, dude, screw it. And he's like, you laid it down. He's like, I'm getting it. I'm like, dude, I was like getting a water or something. He's like, nah, dude, let me throw that thing. He made like 2 casts and he starts ripping on them. I was like, give me my rod back, you dick. He's like, give me one of those. It's like, that's the only one I got. And ask me how many times I've tried that in March since then. That was the last day, and that was probably 12 years ago or longer, 15. John D, I've seen someone on eBay that has a lot of Cajun rattle spinner baits. John D's on them. Tyler, you throw a Sally? Be honest. If you don't, I think you're screwing up. If you don't, you're making a big boo-boo. Damn, it's hot in here. Used to, and don't tell me a chatterbait has replaced it, because it is not the same. It is not the same. I watched when Scott Martin went down to the Sabine and he was doing his pre-tournament, like practice, whatever. He had all his, where he like talks on the boat, where he's sitting there talking. He was going through his rods and stuff. He had a bruiser Sally tied on. It's like, Scott knows. He doesn't know, but knows somebody that told him. I guess at this point he knows enough guys from down here in the Delta that he's probably known about the Sally for years. But Tyler, I will say that a skinny dipper is a pretty good alternative. It's a pretty damn good alternative. I probably throw a skinny dipper more. I still throw a Sally a bunch. That is a good follow-up bait. Like if you got a guy in front of you throwing a skinny dipper, throw a Sally. If you got a guy in the back that wants to throw a skinny dipper, throw a Sally. Snaggle Sally around how drill, you better have your damn life vest on. That's right. Get your damn arm broke. I know what's his name, Lonnie Cochran, client of mine, guide on Gunnersville, works with whatever that lure company is. What's the name of them? Martin's used to be on there. Picasso. He did. I think he helped design an inline spinner for Picasso. Tyler, do y'all burn them over the top, or do y'all actually like work them, or do you just reel them as fast as you can on the surface? Black and blue crank. Yeah, it was really interesting to see. That's one thing I do like about watching Scott's videos, is that he always has some interesting stuff tied on. And the really funny thing, and I see dudes do this all the time, I see it in Scott's videos. He keeps pushing. He keeps pushing that dumbass Guggen deep diving crankbait. Like specifically, if you watch the Pickwick in the pre-tournament practice thing, he was like, "Oh, this new Guggen bait is gonna be great. It's got a great rattle, blah 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 blah." Obviously, the bait has never been thrown. Like, it doesn't have a scratch on it. And then it shows him in the tournament or in practice, and he's throwing a 6XD or a 5XD. Like, it is obvious. And it's like, Scott, you just think we're fools, don't you? You keep talking about this damn Guggen crank, and I haven't seen you throw it once. Like you're flipping fish over the side of the boat with a damn Strike King hanging out of his face, and it's like 100% a Strike King. And then after the tournament or after the day of practice, you're like, oh yeah, they were biting a crankbait real good. This Guggen is a good option. But I think he words it to where he's not really lying, saying I caught all my fish on this. To just say, tomorrow I'll probably catch them again cranking on a bait like this or like uh, you know. But every time I see him, I'm like, Scott, just put this shit down. Somebody else, who was that? Randall Tharp. Somebody posted a picture of the bottom of their boat, and they were like, "Oh, organizing all my arc crankbaits," or it had something to do with arc crankbaits. And I was looking at it, and I was like, "Dude, those have never been thrown. Like you literally just dumped a box out and was like, look at all my baits, to make a like an ad for or a little promo for the company." Um, I don't know about y'all, but if somebody is like trying to promote something and then they show me like baits from their box and none of them have a lick of hook rash on them, my little bullshit radars start going. Like, wait a damn minute. I don't think one of those baits has ever been thrown. Looks like he was using a Vixen at Lacrosse. I'm sure it was a Guggen Walker. Travis, certainly not a Vixen. Hudnall posted a fish with 2 different baits in his mouth. I actually saw him. Derek, is he from Baton Rouge? Because I was over at my sister and brother-in-law's house for Halloween, and we were trick-or-treating around their house, or I mean around their neighborhood. And I was walking by and I saw this big wrap Yamaha truck, and I was like, "Who's this dickhead?" And I kind of looked over at the side of the door and said, "Derek Hudnall." I was like, "Who's that?" So Amy was like, "Who's that guy?" I was like, "I don't know. Let's look." So I looked him up. It's like, "Oh, he's a bass fisherman." I figured he'd be a saltwater guy. I was like, "Oh, he fishes the Elite Series." Yeah, he was creeping around in the old hood. Prototype. The oldest trick in the book. The oldest. Do people still fall for that? Honestly, or does everybody know at this point that a prototype is not a prototype? It's actually the bait they want to be throwing. They throw a Vixen. They get camera footage. Guy catches them throwing the Vixen. They're sponsored by another company. They call it a prototype on camera so they don't get in trouble. I mean, seriously, how long is this trick going to work? I think social media and like Bass Live, you hear some guys actually come clean. They're like, "Listen, I'm throwing a BDS one. It's a good bait. My sponsors don't make this bait." Uh, so yeah, the Byron Velvet Livingston Glide. How is that company still in business, or are they? I've talked about this before. I don't want to go over it again. I don't want to get somebody knocking on my door, but I don't know that I believe. I don't trust everything that goes on down there. I think there might be. We'll just leave it at that. The Guggen jackhammer prototype. Velvic seems like a really nice guy. I've heard some interviews with him. I guess seems like he completely got out of fishing to raise his daughter. Can't 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 blame a dude for that. The jackhammer was a knockoff too. What isn't a knockoff at this point? Wheeler was using the jackhammer prototype at the Knoxville Classic. I would like to do a collection video of all the times pros have gotten caught with their pants down using some other bait that they were not sponsored by. I think I have seen. Um, I think I've seen Van Dam using a 110 megabass um, for certain. Um, I'm trying to think any of the big ones. But if you could put a, I mean, they all the pros probably wouldn't like it, but I think it'd be awesome. But I think I could probably sit down and pick out enough clips like I could really think hard in my memory bank, and I could probably pull a bunch of those out. Um, but finding the Van Dam tournament with the 110 would be hard. I don't remember which one it was, but I remember seeing it. Uh, Bobby Lane got caught using G Loomis rods painted white. That is a fact. Wow. Oh yeah, Travis. That one was on that tournament that George Cochran, he was using the Lucky Craft. He's actually done it a couple times. Um, he was that was at Gunnersville, and he smashed him on that IU 110. I mean Pointer 100 or whatever it was. Uh, but the one I was talking about, where is it was on like it might have been on Bugs Island maybe, and it was in October or in the fall. And George Cochran was fishing these really shallow flats, and he was throwing a Bagley Balsa B3, and and they like zoomed in on the bait, and he was waking it, which was really interesting. Like he was cranking it real slow and just letting it wobble on the top of the water, which is very odd to me because I've never fished a B3 like that. And when he got up on stage, Ray Scott put the damn put the light on him and the mic and was like, you know, what did you catch him on? And he said, well, I was throwing a Balsa 3 crankbait. He wouldn't say Bagley, and he wouldn't say Balsa B3. It was just a Balsa 3. And I was sitting there thinking, I was like, dude, like I know you're in bed with Strike King, but damn, like it was so cringy listening to him not like avoid saying Bagley, that you could just feel the like cringiness in the on the stage. Oh yeah, Seth throwing the blitz and trying to pass that off as a DT. I think he did catch some on a DT. One of the more famous ones was probably Randy Howell throwing the DT6 and trying to claim that his Livingston was more of a player. Yeah, I, mean, I think he actually came clean and was like, you know, I caught someone on DT6, but it was really that Livingston howler. No, it wasn't. Um, Seth said he was using a Japanese crankbait on live. Did he? I never heard that. All I heard was all I saw was pictures of him talking, or pictures of his rods and his crankbait. Like I saw articles. I don't think I saw the live. I saw articles, and it was all about like DTs and or it was all about his cranking bite. And then they showed pictures of his rods on deck, and it was like a bunch of DTs, like DT16s and shit. And hold on. And it never showed the blitz. Um, the howler was comical. I think Randy got flamed for the howler move. Uh, what else? What else was there in the history of bass fishing that is uh, pros have tried to lie about? I guess I haven't tried to lie, but I think the farther along we get, the less blatant lying we get. Probably in the '90s, you got lots of really sketchy business. Darius, what's up? AJ, was it equal or was it did the OSP outshine the DT? Actually gave one to one of the Johnson brothers. I heard there was a little bit of a stink. I think it was in that tournament. Because I want to say, AJ, if you were watching it live, that Seth made a derogatory comment about Scott Canterbury being from the South, and that like all him and his little northern buddies to pretty much like cock block him. I heard rumblings of that. That they were all fishing like this spot somewhere. And it was like him and a few of his buddies, and then there was like the one southern dude. Frank Talley was using the Teckle Frog and said he modified a Strike King. That sounds about right. Is there drug rules in bass fishing like other pro sports? I think there are. There's something written in the rules maybe about the possibility of a random drug test. I could be wrong. I don't want to say I've heard that somewhere. They don't get drug tested. I mean, they might. They probably. Yeah, that's probably. That's probably. Oh, Tyler, I don't think he's like some like Southern hater, but I think he did say something like that would come across as like, you know, the wrong way. I really don't think that like if I met Seth Fighter, he would be like, "Hey, you're from Alabama. Get away from me, you redneck." I'm like, "You're a fucking redneck. You just live up north." You know what I mean? Like, I don't think he has an issue with Southern people. But I think something getting on, something about that. But I remember one of my buddies, he was like, "Do you hear Fighter? Like that comment about Canterbury?" He's like, "No." He's a dick. How the 110 has probably been the most hidden. Oh, no wonder. Poor connection. I was attacked. Was connected to Wi-Fi. Um, but I never. That was I only heard that from one friend. So I guess it must not have been too bad that nobody ran with it. I mean, so I didn't go back and like double check the audio to see what was really said, but I remember hearing that. Yeah, the Megabass Vision 110 has probably been the number one hidden bait, right? Because I think it's the one bait that like all the guys can agree that is Kyle, they are, but it looks bad when you're paid to promote a company and you're not out there catching all your fish on a company that's paid for them. You know what I mean? Like if you're a Kyle, if I'm paying you $30,000 a year use tacklecraft baits, and then you get in a top 5 and you're throwing a damn Strike King 1.5. You know, it'd be like, what the fuck, dude? Oh, that looks good. What's that? It's glossy. How'd you get it glossy?
That's just a technique.
Your little tricks of the trade.
This looks like leather.
What'd you do? Amy's working on different techniques for shirts for somebody.
I have a dance studio that wants leather looking.
She has a dance studio that wants leather looking ink
On a black shirt.
on a black shirt. So black on black.
It's my new work shirt. Fancy.
It is fancy.
Huh?
Large. Don't have any XLs?
I probably do. You want to go see one?
Probably. That looks kind of cool. It would be cool with the fish and then the glossy black.
They?
Yeah.
I still have one up. This one was my first one. And this one was the white screen. So you can see a little bit of the outline, which is actually kind of cool.
I don't hate that. What's the technique?
I can't give it away.
You can't give it away. Damn. We got secrets. Kyle said he'd buy it. I would say it's a TK painted Lucky Craft 1.5. Then TK would get 500 orders to paint that bait. What size shirt you wear, Kyle? He said he's got money to burn right now. Kyle, we'll hold you to that. She'll fold that son of a bitch up and put it in the mail faster than you can say Balsa 3.
I like it. Think she'll like it?
She should. If she's not, she's a fool.
I mean, it even feels like leather.
No one said that they were using a speed crawl. Wow. Oh, he's a large. Those will fit. All right, Kyle. We got you on the clip. No one came clean about the speed crawl. It's interesting. I got a brand new Zillion SV in the box on eBay for $217. Only 2 people bid on it. $350 reel, and I can't believe I got it for that. Darius, I had a similar situation. I ordered 3, or actually bid on 3 Shimano Scorpions. And the reels were used, but they looked like they were pretty decent shape. They had some rash on them, which I didn't mind. The guy said they were mechanically 10 out of 10. So I'm 100% all about a roached out reel aesthetically when the mechanics are flawless. I'll take that. So dude said they worked flawlessly, smooth. They were just had a little bit of rash on them. So he had 3 of these, and I was like, I don't really need these, but he started his bids at like $40 or something, and I was like, screw it. Max bid $65, and I put it on each one of them. Dude, I like wake up the next day, it's like, you won. It's like, I won what? And I looked at it. And it's like, holy shit. I just won. Like, I just bought 3 Scorpions for $200. Nobody bid on them. It was $60 a piece. And like, they came and they're probably the best casting reels I own. They're incredible. But But it's funny how people sleep on shit like that. Like for whatever reason, like those just kind of nobody wanted. I don't know. I don't know. But I was very, very pleasantly surprised. That is for damn sure. I had a horrible oversight here when I was making this guy these baits, and that is number 6 hooks. I don't typically keep number 6s, and I don't want to put like some like super high end hooks that this guy's not ever going to use. So we'll see. Let's see if I can dig up some number 6s. I guess you're right, Marty. Everybody expected them to sell for a bunch more, and they just like wrote them off. And I ended up swooping them up. I guess this is the way we need to sell shirts now. Is just do them. Amy needs to bring them hot off the press and be like, "All right, who wants them? Here they are." AJ, what else have you seen? Have you seen anything else interesting that was newsworthy on live? You seem to watch with a very watchful eye. I really don't get to watch live that much anymore. Like I get to watch it for a minute, but sounds good, Kyle. Is the Japan Scorpion pretty much the Curado a little better? Yeah. The only way I can explain it is it just feels like if you took like your truck and you drove it off the lot, it would feel pretty good. Now, if you took that same truck and took it to a shop and they tuned it and got it shifting right and got like put a couple add-ons, I don't know, like just like it just feels a little more refined. It's smoother, it casts better, but it doesn't feel that much. I mean, it does, but it just feels like a better tuned reel. It feels like there was more precision in like cutting the gears and like putting it together and all that kind of shit and like greasing it and all that kind of stuff. Like all that was not just like grease, send it to the next one. Like it was like everything was done right. So yeah, I never knew before that like anything about like the JDM equivalent. I always heard they were better reels, but I would highly recommend them. Marty, I haven't got them yet. Have not got them yet. The AJ noticed from watching lives that those guys help each other more than you would think. I've seen a little bit of that where you hear those guys talking like, "Oh, come over here," or "You need a fish," or "You need to do something." And they throw each other a bone, which is good. I wish they would show the guys that say, "Oh, did you see dipshit over there? Screw him." We don't ever get to see that though. That's why I'd like to be a marshal. I think it'd be fun to see what is like really going on, because you never know unless you're in the boat, right? because they're never going to show that kind of stuff on camera. Since I can't be a co-angler anymore. Oh, that's another thing Bass could add back for a one-time event is bring back the co-anglers for an event. That'd be awesome. Hayden, he might have. I don't know. They, I mean, the thing about it is like, if you're ordering scorpions from Japan, you care about what you're using, obviously. I would think, and you care about probably how good your equipment is. So I wouldn't think a guy would order a scorpion, use it, and like just completely destroy it. You know what I mean? I feel like that person. I mean, I'm sure there's tons of guys that do that, but part of me wants to think that the person that buys that reel uh, wants to take a little bit of care of it. And maybe he's like for me, or maybe he's like I am. You know, I don't care how they look. And I have a weird thing that I do not like hook keepers on my rods. I don't use them. I don't like them. I don't like my. I don't like that. I like my bait to be attached to my reel. End of story. I don't care where you put the hook hanger, what it looks like, how efficient it is. They annoy me and they look dumb. I just don't like all my baits hung on top of my reel. It's not a compact little package. Like when it's right there on the reel, it's a big bulky thing on the reel, and then the rod is sleek. It looks nice laid out. I'm a little quirky like that. Seems like Fighter is almost never using his sponsors' products, and Palaniuk is the opposite. I did see Palaniuk throw in that Arashi topwater, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it looked like that's what he was throwing. I don't see Fighter enough. The only thing I ever see Fighter doing is like pitching a jig around. But like I said, I don't watch it enough to see Fighter get outside of like doing like various techniques. Like the clips I happen to see him, like I saw, you see him with like what's his name, Pat, fishing and like pitching a jig, and then I saw him like pitching some docks or somewhere at one tournament, and he was pitching a jig, and like it's just all like every time I see him, he's like pitching that same jig. Right there, Kyle. So that is just where I like my baits to ride. I don't like this hook hanger. That I just don't. That bothers me. It just bothers me. I'd rather have the bait right up here. I can not break this rod. I think that's where baits should live. Yeah, right there on that top right there on the top. And it rashes them up and it makes them look like shit, but I don't care. AJ, I don't. And if I were to throw one, I would just let it hang off the end of the rod tip and shake around and get into knots and stuff. Or I'd wrap it around the reel handle. But I've never really had to do that. And I will say I've like I don't know that I've ever pre-rigged a drop shot. Like I've fished a drop shot before, but it was um, never done uh, beforehand. Show up glossy. Oh, it did. That looks good. What shirt is this? Gildan Extra Cotton. Heavy boy. So
Only extra large.
this is with the glossy. Is it harder to read? How can you read it?
I can read it.
It's easier to read in person, but it looks kind of hard to read in that's pretty cool.
I like it.
Huh?
That is a good fish.
Did you have to order special ink for that?
Good.
No. Cook it higher?
Mm-mm.
You can bake it at a higher temperature?
This is what it did really. Look at the bottom.
Oh, you had to go over a month? Oh, now I know this. Now we're getting secrets. It's not all the secrets? AJ, I'll tell you, Kyle, it does look better without the fish. Uh, but we had to. See, that's the good thing about having all the screen printing stuff set up is like you never know until you actually do it. That one's not as glossy, and it doesn't shine as much on the light shirt.
Well, it's good that you just pass. I've seen it get away with less.
Um, AJ, the interesting thing about the drop shot is the first time I was ever turned on to a drop shot. We went to this lake, and you might have heard me tell this story before, but the fish were schooling. It was in the fall, and the fish were schooling, and they were really, really water was clear, and they were really goofy. And the guy I was with, he was like, "Fish are gonna come up schooling." I was like, "Okay." He's like, "See if you can catch them." Like, okay, no problem. And so I get my like school and fish stuff out and start throwing it around, and no bites. It's like it's kind of odd. He said, "Let me tell you how to catch them." I was like, "Sure, I'd love to know." He's like, "Zoom finesse worm, watermelon seed on a drop shot." Do what? He's like, "I'm telling you." He's like, "When they come up school and throw that out there and let it go to the bottom." He's like, "They'll pick it up before it hits the bottom." He's like, "And if they don't, like just leave it there for like a second. They'll get it." All right. So I like got the bottom of the boat and rigged up a drop shot. Hmm. Yeah. Sure shit, dude. Bait hit the bottom. And that was the first time I've ever like caught fish on a drop shot, and it was schooling fish. Very interesting. It wasn't very deep. It was like 8, 10 feet, but I haven't done it that much since then. But I've tried it occasionally. I've been in the boat, like with my buddy Keith. He'll do it a little bit, and he catches them on it, and I'll be like, "Oh, let me do that," so I can get some like practice drop shotting. I won't ever get bites. I don't know. I can't do it. I'm not a wormer. I'm not cut out for the worming. Number sixes. What size these are? These are fours. Oh, what do we have here? Maybe these will be sixes. No sixes. Just fours. By the damn piles. It pains you to drop shot, but it will pick it up over a C rig. I don't know. I'd rather C rig than drop shot. 8 or 12 inches off the bottom when you tie drop shot. Correct. Correct. I am going to try the power shot. That seems a little bit more up my alley. AJ, you ever power shot a speed crawl? Does that work good? Seems like something you'd be into. What is your favorite 12 inches off the bottom when you tie a drop shot? Oh, I thought you were saying 8 to 12 inches is is what you typically tie a drop shot in those. Yes. Um, I don't. Uh, I would probably start shorter and then work my way up. I would start with an 8 and work to 12. I think 12 is about the standard. I mean, it's not too tall. I mean, I think that's where most people would start. 12 is a good even number. You like a speed crawl, a D-bomb better than a speed crawl. I guess the legs flat better. Would make sense. A regular D-bomb or a baby D-bomb? Yeah. I bought some of these VMC hybrids. Pretty nice looking hook. It's almost got like an owner bend to it, like the ST that bends in. But the only thing I don't like about them is they have a size, like this is a size 6. That is not a size 6. Like it's like it's more like a 5. But that is a very large. So if you're shopping for these and you're considering them and buying them online without seeing them in person, the VMC Hybrid 1X Strong. I would size down from what you're actually wanting to get. I think these run a little large. I use a 3/8 ounce football jig as my weight with a drop shot hook 12 inches above. Darius, how many doubles do you get? AJ's going to get a slap on the wrist for promoting missile. He's going to lose his privileges. All right, I need 1, 2, 3, 6, 8. Number 6s. Maybe I need to run to Academy and pick this man up some hooks. Well, one ever. Is the white wall of baits you use to fish or supplies to building? That wall, that is all personal things. Personal things I have acquired over my lifetime of bass fishing. A little bit of everything up there. We got some old Pro Tune Lucky Crafts, Boogerman, Jackal MC60s. Got some tubes, bunch of reaction stuff. It's mainly all Zoom chunks, all sweet beefs, some tubes, Jackal Lucky Craft, some Bagleys, some miscellaneous Normans and Strike King stuff. There's a Rapala DT section of mainly just DT6s. It's the only DT I throw. And that's about it. There's a few frogs up there. That's about it. Got some WECs up there. Yeah, that's just my horde. I will show you my favorite DT color though, and I can't paint it. I could. But all those DTs up there are all this color. Bleeding Olive Shiner. Do they still make this? Anybody know? Rich, I did. I think it's 7 packs. I haven't received them yet though. All right, well, I need to get off here and find some little bitty treble hooks. Oh. AJ, and I'm not using the ones you sent me. Those are too good for these. Those are pro hooks. But anyway, all right, guys. Have a good rest of the week. I'm sure we'll talk later. Be on the lookout for some hats when we get patches. See y'all. AJ, I'll go to the maybe I'll run to Academy real quick and see if they have any Senkos on sale. If you need regular Senkos, I don't have any regular. You wouldn't want my Senkos. My Senkos are all like the old. My Senkos are all like 15 years old and have like 2 taken out of the package. And they rode around on the boat forever. But anyway, that'll be good. Adios.